it was even, sometimes it was even inmates in there that were trying to win over prison guards, female prison guards. And they paid me to write letters to these prison guards on their behalf. And so what happened was that opened up my mind to the fact that I had a gift that I could really hone and use to my advantage. The same way I was writing short stories and letters for multiple individuals in there over and over. And even with the suggestions of a few individuals in there with me, I realized that I could write books. And if I put my mind to it, I could actually write a full-length book. And so that's what I set out to do. And while I was on that unit in Austin, where I first started writing letters for individuals, that was my actual hustle. I wrote this book right here, Suicide Note. I wrote this book right here, Suicide Note by Matthew Daniels, on that unit. And I wrote this book right here, Thicker Than Water by Matthew Daniels, on that unit, literally. And so I remember being locked up with the individuals that I was writing letters for. And I remember when I wrote this book, and what I did, as I wrote each chapter, I passed it around and I let individuals read it so I could get their feedback on how the story was flowing to see if they liked it or not. And everybody was telling me how good it was, how good it was, how good it was. And I remember telling them brothers, I was like, watch, mark my words, man, mark my words. When I get out, I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to get this published. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care what hurdles I have to jump over. I don't care what obstacles I have to overcome. I don't care what I have to face. I don't care what I have to endure. I don't care how hard I gotta fight. I don't care how hard I gotta push. I don't care how determined I have to be. I'm going to get this published. And now today I actually have it published, and copies of this has been sold literally all over the world. Which is, man, it's a totally humbling thing that a man can go to prison, right? A man can go to prison, and then just to try to, earn some food, some soups or some stamps or some meat packs, a man can start tapping into his natural talent and his natural abilities, writing letters for other inmates to initiate correspondence with their wives or girlfriends who they haven't heard from in months or even sometimes years. And then from that, really realize the potential that's within yourself, that I realized the potential that was within myself, and to take that and actually write a story behind bars, handwritten on paper, pencil and paper, to actually write that out in prison, in one of the darkest moments of my life, where I really seen no light. But to be able to, in my mind, see this day, years ago, to see this day, years ago, when I wrote this book, and to hold on to that dream year after year after year after year after year, hold on to that dream when in our reality, it seemed impossible, right? It seemed impossible to convert what I created in prison and make it a published book reality in out here in the free world, but I held on to it, and I never gave up on that dream. I never gave up on that ambition. I didn't care if anybody believed me. I didn't care if anybody thought it was possible. I didn't care if anybody didn't like my book. I don't care if I just didn't care about anything but what I saw. Because when I wrote it, I saw it as a published work, and I knew if I held on to that dream long enough, and if I fought hard enough, and if I pushed hard enough, I could make it a reality.